The operation ended at 3:12 a.m. I remember the clock because I stared at it for a full minute before I could even take my gloves off. Thomas Griggs came in with a stab wound to the abdomen, deep enough to cut through bowel and nick the liver. It took me almost 9 hours to close him up. I was soaked in sweat, my fingers cramped, legs trembling. Not from fear, from exhaustion. He was unconscious the whole time, eyes fluttering a few times but never opening. I thought he was just another patient I dragged back from the edge. He wasn't. When I sat down in the staff lounge, someone had printed his intake form. That's when I saw the police note. Suspected in domestic side. Wife found dead in residence. No charges. Ongoing investigation. I dropped the paper and stared at the floor. It didn't change anything. At least, that's what I told myself. But there was something in the way he looked in the OR. Not desperate, not scared. He looked like someone waiting for a storm that never came. I left the hospital an hour later, barely able to keep my eyes open. I don't remember the drive home. I think I slept 3 hours that morning, maybe 4. But I didn't feel rested. My arms were heavy when I got up. Not sore, just drained, like I had something clinging to me I couldn't shake off. The exhaustion didn't lift over the next few days. I drank coffee, ate protein bars, took vitamins. Nothing helped. Every step through the hospital halls felt heavier. My body responded slower. My head would throb in rooms without sound. I chalked it up to burnout. Normal, considering the schedule. But there was something else behind it. A pressure that built gradually, like a sound just below hearing. Something I couldn't name. Small things started to stand out. I'd hear someone behind me in the stairwell, but when I turned, no one was there. One night, I left the OR late and saw a faint shape through the glass of the surgical supply room. It wasn't clear. It was just standing motionless, between racks of gauze and gloves. I stared at it for too long. When I opened the door, the motion sensor lights flicked on and the room was empty. I walked out and told myself not to come back there alone again. I started avoiding room 303. That's where we put Griggs post-op. Even just walking by made my chest tighten. I didn't want to see him. I couldn't explain it. I felt like he watched me more than anyone else. Not just with his eyes, with something else. Something I couldn't point to. The nurses said he barely moved, barely spoke. But they said that when he did speak, he only asked about his son. At night, I'd dream I was still in surgery. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, thinking I forgot to suture something. Once I woke up and saw the light in my hallway was on. I live alone. I kept it off. The door was still locked. Nothing missing. But I started locking my bedroom door after that. I thought I was losing my mind. Then the kid showed up. I was reviewing charts when one of the nurses told me that Griggs' son was visiting with relatives. I didn't think much of it. I wasn't scheduled to see them. I kept working. But on my way to radiology, I saw the boy. He was standing at the far end of the hallway, completely still. He was facing me, not blinking. I slowed my steps. He didn't flinch. He didn't flinch. There was no noise around us, no machines, no charts, no monitors beeping. Just him staring down the hallway like he was watching something behind me. I called out to him. He didn't answer. I took another step. "Hey, buddy, are you lost?" That's when his face changed. His mouth